Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. It's surely one of the best smartphones available right now. It has the best build quality, pretty attractive and well put together design, a huge battery, an excellent display, impressive cameras, low latency S Pen support, loud and clear speakers, and also a great processor, or maybe not that great when you buy the phone in India. Well, to be frank, I really loved using this phone, but that last thing, the processor, is the only part that let me down. And that processor part stands like a disappointment only while considering the pricing of the phone in India. I mean, the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra just has one variant in India which has 12 GB of RAM and 256 GB storage, and it's selling for a whopping price tag of 1,04,999 Indian rupees. And that's a very high and very premium price tag, and for that, Samsung should have offered the best processing unit which they have done in the US, but here in India, we are getting the same old Exynos chipset, and it's the Exynos 990. Well, that's the same processor used in the Galaxy S20 series, and it performs well, but there are two main drawbacks to it. And in that, the first thing is that it does produce more heat, and hence even while using the phone for moderately heavy tasks or even average stuff for an extended period of time does warm up the back portion. And this has been the same in the Galaxy S20 series phones, and yeah, even this Note 20 Ultra has the same issue. And the second problem from this chipset is that it does drain battery at a quicker pace. During my testing period, the screen on time I was getting was a maximum of 5 hours, and that's kinda disappointing considering the battery capacity is 4500 mAh. Now the screen is huge and it does drain battery at a faster pace, but the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra Snapdragon variant does offer much better screen on time than this, and I feel Samsung should stop doing this. Now if you're selling a very premium phone, then just launch the same variant everywhere, because like I said, this is a great phone which unfortunately has been forcefully made to work with lower standards because of just one thing. And I would have actually been okay even with this if the pricing was much less. Like if you would have priced it in the 70,000 to 80,000 range, well then Exynos would have been fine, but here that cost cutting didn't happen. Because to be frank, the rest of the stuff from this phone sold in India is excellent. The display is a huge one measuring 6.9 inches, and it's a Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED display, which means it refreshes at 120 Hz. And this is one of the best display in any smartphone right now. I loved it. Well, as you might know, you can't turn on both the 120Hz and Quad HD resolution together, but like everyone, I also opted the 120Hz refresh rate with the Full HD resolution, and the experience is amazing. Every scroll or swipe is smooth, and Samsung has actually done a great job with the dynamic refresh rate setup, which means the 120Hz refresh rate does drop down whenever it's not needed. And yeah, since the bezels are almost not present, and also since we get the hole punch front camera, watching content in this display is truly immersive. Now the sides are a bit curved, but I didn't jump into any accidental touch issues with this Note 20 Ultra, so that wasn't much of an issue for me, even though I do prefer flat edges. And yeah, since the screen has this refresh rate, the famous S Pen also gets improvement in terms of latency. So it's now a 9 millisecond latency with the S Pen, and that makes taking notes and stuff much better. You won't be noticing any lags while using the S Pen, and overall Samsung has improved their S Pen experience in the Note 20 Ultra. And if you're a S Pen fan, you'll totally love this. And another area which has impressed me a lot is this massive protruding rectangular block which houses the cameras. I mean, these cameras are impressive. Samsung, you have finally got it right with the camera setup you have opted for in 2020. This is the camera specifications, and this main 108 megapixel sensor is a great one. Shots are very sharp and detailed with impressive dynamic range, and by default, the shots are pixel bended to output 12 megapixel ones, and here I did like the shots in every lighting situation. Then the 12 megapixel ultra wide angle camera does take pretty neat wide angle shots like the other big guns right now in market, which means it's good, but then don't expect any miracle with this sensor. And also about the 12 megapixel telephoto camera, it has a periscopic zoom system to give 5x optical zoom and up to 50x digital zoom. And yet this one is a very handy zoom system which does take pretty decent shots even when zoomed up to 20x. And also the focus hunting issue that the S20 Ultra had has been fixed here with the help of a laser focusing system. And about video recording, well, 8K 24 FPS is supported, but that's not a very good resolution to record video, but everything below that works great. You can capture pretty crisp and steady videos which has good color profile, and even though the iPhone 11 Pro series is still the king, this one is almost on par with it. So overall, I really like this new camera system in the Note 20 Ultra. But then Samsung did disappoint a bit with the front camera, which is a 10 megapixel camera. I don't know whether it's the sensor or it's just Samsung's processing, because the selfies which this front camera is capturing has completely wrong skin tone even when all beauty settings are turned off. Then about the speakers, well, you get dual stereo speaker setup here and they sound great. There is a lot of bass and the sound output is loud and clear without any distortion. And here I think this is one of the best sounding loudspeakers in any smartphone period. And actually that's the same with the earpiece too, so calls do sound good. But then more than all this, Samsung designed the phone with great precision and also quality. It's a bar type phone which we are all used to, but here I do like this design. Well, the camera bump is massive, but when I did hold the phone for the first time, I was impressed by the material quality and the overall feel of the phone in the hand. The top and bottom has this flat metal portion, while the sides are curved with the thin metal portion, which is stainless steel. And about the glass used in the front and back, well, it's Gorilla Glass Victus. And overall, till now, scratches are minor and barely noticeable. And also the buttons, they work great with good tactile feedback. And also the only port, which is USB-C, works flawlessly. I would rate the build quality of the Note 20 Ultra as the most impressive in a smartphone right now, and that also has to do with the weight balance they have done. The phone, even though being a huge one, doesn't feel very heavy, and also the back glass surface has this gloss finish because I have the Mystic Black color. And one more thing to note is that this camera protrusion is a bit of a problem if you try to use the phone while laying it on a table. Well, as you can see, it rocks really badly, so if in case you want to take notes with the S Pen like this, well, it's not going to work well. And by the way, the S Pen has shifted to the left side of the phone this time, and it can be because of the camera layout on the right side. Then if in case you're wondering, the Note 20 Ultra does have support for 5G, which means the phone is future-proof in that sense, and also dual SIM support is there, which can be a eSIM and a physical nano SIM, or if you don't want to use the hybrid SIM slot, you can opt for 2 nano SIMs. And about the ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner used here, it felt to be very slightly better than the ones in the S20 series. And lastly, about the Bluetooth version, it's 5, and the Wi-Fi version is Wi-Fi 6, and you also have NFC along with Samsung DeX support, and also all the sensors are present. Well, that's all about the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. It's a great phone which has been for some reason forced by Samsung to not rule the Indian market. If the Indian variant of the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra had used a Snapdragon 865 Plus processor, I would have switched to this phone as my daily driver phone. But just this processor thing makes me skip this impressive phone, at least for now. And maybe if Samsung drops the price down, well then it will make more sense. But I guess a price drop will probably only happen when this phone ages more, and then there might be other better options. That's all for this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. If so, a like is much appreciated, and a sub would be great. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye.